If you just stumble across the channel, it's probably because somebody hit that like button before. And for those of you who hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Stack them coins in the game with me. Roll through dip.
Check 1 2 1 2.
If you wanna see the charts go green, dodge the crash, keep it clean with me. Hit the market, live the dream with me.
Well, let's go cook it. And 1 2 3 4. Didn't happen. Gosh darn it, Sean.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome, one person who watches my stream. How you doing? Glad to have you here. I see you out there, Dylan. How's it going, man? Glad to have you here. Dylan, B.A. in the chat today. Do we not have this working? There we go. There it is. Thought I'd do a little, just a little short update on Bitcoin. Got a lot of sentiment going on. It's Friday, where whale games are known to start to play, and I want to bring your attention to one little thing here. Let's go to the daily chart over here, and let's just kind of zoom out on Bitcoin, and let's look back just a little bit just to kind of see the past here. This was a Thursday. We topped up, and then a Friday. Well, this is not going to be the greatest one, is it? Here was a Friday. We started coming down over that weekend, and it, oh my gosh, we down all down that weekend. Then we went up on a Friday. I think I saw this on the smaller time frame that we're looking at. This will make it make more sense. This is a Wednesday we dumped. This was a Monday we dumped. I'm sorry, I was looking over here, and I was seeing the ones where they would start dumping us on a Thursday over the weekend, and they're just not lasting very long here. Anyway, it made sense earlier when I was looking. My thoughts are off right now. We are on a Friday. Here was one. This was Wednesday. This was last Friday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe it was just short term I was looking. Yeah, it was. This was a Thursday. Here we are. We're back on track now, everybody. But this was a Thursday. This was the Friday dump. And then over this weekend, this was the 19th. We went sideways. Dumped a little on Sunday, and then started popping up on Sunday night. A little, whipsaw action. Dump on Monday, pump on Tuesday. That's kind of what they were doing here. This was where they ran us up. This was kind of interesting. Now, this was, the whole week was kind of bullish here. Sizzle, went sideways on Friday, then they pumped us up, and then, of course, they dumped us down. Usually what they're doing going into the weekend, they're going to undo as we come out of the weekend. That's just kind of a general rule of thumb. Here's another one where we were up on a Thursday. Kind of similar to what we did over here. We were up yesterday on Wednesday and Thursday, flagging to the upside. Had a lot of people taking some of those flag trades there. Even had one of your more popular YouTubers out there. I think he actually liquidated an account today, doing some balls to the wall, breaking the rules kind of stuff. Took an account that was 22,000. July 21st. I went back to make sure I track this stuff sometimes. The 26th, this particular YouTuber had that count down to 15, right at 16,000 just a few days ago. Then lost it down to 800 over the night with this particular trade right here. Took a $15,000 account. After, it sounds like revenge trading. From what I can see, there's just a lot of choppy playthrough there, and the chop will take that money away from you if you haven't noticed and figured it out. That is what seems to happen here a lot with Bitcoin. Let's get into the analysis, if you don't mind. We're seeing where they like to dump us a little bit on Fridays, right? It's a routine thing, and sometimes they repeat these same routines. Here they dumped us down into the night on Friday, and then on the weekend it started going up. This was just last weekend, right? And all the weekend was bullish. Will that happen Can that happen? I'm going to give you a scenario where we might have something like that. Now, I don't think that we're coming up to make any higher highs. We seem to be in a channel idea. I'm going to take this little line off right here. Now we're starting to get into the TA. We connect these candle wicks over here, and we see we got a little channel formation here. Taking that down here. Meaning that we bounce to the tops and the bottoms and the tops and the bottoms. And if we can bounce here at the bottom here, we got a chance of coming back up to the top about 118, maybe 118.4, 118.5, something like that. That would be Trey cool, right? That could happen over the weekend going into next week. We could see something like that. I don't know necessarily she will get that high. There's some areas around that 117 area that I am still looking at, and I think I took that off of this particular fib. I do draw my fib lines out here. And yeah, right here is my little line. I'm going to draw it here. I redrew my chart today just to update it. Get some new price points in case we do decide to go lower. But this little guy right here, I've been watching him for a long time. That's 17.3. We've been holding there since July the 11th. Playing with the idea of coming down to some lower areas, and there are some lower areas here. I need to pull that one up. I didn't mark the other one from here. Where we are bouncing, or where we're finding support right now, is the 382 Fibonacci area. And if you've been watching my channel, you've heard me mention the 236 and the 382 areas, right? I'm sure you probably hear me mention them all the time. The thesis was it's great, but it's not the norm to catch and bounce off this area, and we can wick below it and start covering it. But these are some signs of weakness. The more you wick below it, well, the more, you know, you starting to get this channel formation, right? But considering that we lost the 236, we come down to this big, fat, gorgeous, let's put him on here. Let's make him big and fat so we can seize him. This big fat green line right here, that is our next level of support, and that's where we're catching at. Now, also for you fib lovers out there, if we do a low to high pull right here on our last little local leg, we also see that we're down here at our little pivot point, the 1272, bouncing perfectly off of that. I think almost perfectly, as perfect as I can draw it. Let's come down to the 1 hour and take a look at what we got here. So there's a good chance to find some support through here. Trend line 382 Fibonacci and 1.272 local Fibonacci extension retrace right there. So we're getting confluence that we're at an area of support. Also, something I want to draw here is on this is the 1 hour time frame. Now this 800, 600, and 360 moving average, big moving averages, still in bullish formation. They've not crossed yet. Can, you know, it'll take more sideways and down for that to happen, but there is just as good of a chance that we can recover these guys and come right back up to that 360 right there at 118,000. I'm getting a lot of these things telling me that, and it doesn't feel like it right now. It feels horrible right now. It feels terrible. It feels like everything is dropping out of the market, and oh my god, accounts are going down. But we saw it coming. The thing is, but you know, seeing it coming and then how you act on that, it's two different stories, okay? And that's part of our job as being traders and investors in this market, is to not just to learn how to see the signs of what's coming. And we've talked about it for the last couple of weeks here on the chart, but it's not just seeing it, but it's also getting that conviction or having rules in place that you set for yourself and follow to take action at those points. And that's something that I find that I constantly work on. I'm not going to sit here and act like I play everything off perfectly, because I don't. I'm not going to be one of those. You see me turning around. The people that do that turn around, then you find out their $22,000 account just got liquidated. So, I mean, nobody plays this market perfect, and even the professional traders, the self-proclaimed professional trader gurus out there, they've been having some hard time, especially if you've been chasing the flags. This is where the market burns you. And so now here at the 1 hour, let's go back up to the 4 hour if you don't mind looking at Bitcoin. You can see my levels of my fib levels right here. Let me get rid of the actual fib. So we got a chance for it to hold. Now, we broke below the 4 hour 200 moving average, and that's not great, and we need to recover it. The signs that we can still recover this, in my personal opinion, other than the bouncing off the fibs, is the here on the 4 hour, these moving averages, they haven't crossed bearishly over that 200 yet. There's still a chance we can wick back up and come back and retest that 9 moving average here on the 4 hour. That's about 115.6. 21 moving average is up at 116.8. 50 is up at 117.5, and 100. There's still, I mean, there's some bearish formation, right? And they just barely crossed right over here at 118.5. But there was such a strong move, fast move down. You can look for a kind of a spring effect that might pull us back up here. And so for this is what I like to do. Since we've got a possible bottom area, we've got a little strategy here. We pull with our fibs. Helps us gauge what we need to look for to save our asses from getting too bullish and facing another rundown, because we could. There's some lower areas. A lot of people looking at 111, people calling out 109, and there's levels down there, and there definitely are. I've got a bigger 236 pull from this whole big ass move from where we were down at 74,000. That particular Fibonacci area is here at 111. The way that we're going, there's a chance that we might hit it, but it doesn't have to be this weekend, even though they probably want you to think that it is. And what's so sad is that people get to this point now and they see everything dropping and they're thinking, oh, the weekend's coming, they're just going to drop us, and they get scared. And maybe they make some decisions preemptively and start selling out here at the bottom, selling support, trying to short support. Those ideas out there, people that are just tired of seeing everything go against them. They thought, well, I'm just going to go your way. And here's the moment right here. We've got all the little signs going into the weekend that they can do the old whoop-de-doo on us and start flip-flopping. So we need to start seeing on the smaller time frames some reactions right through here if this is going to hold. Well, I'm hoping that it does hold. It does not have to, but blasting through the 382, that's just not normal behavior, especially after you respected it so much over here. What, we're just going to, everybody calling for the Bart Simpson pattern or something here that can throw us all the way back down here in 109. And it could, but here on the Friday going into the weekend, it would have to be the whales playing it and no retail volume to hold it up. But most likely, judging by the trend lines, judging by what we got to bounce there. There is one more thing that we can do with trend lines here, and we can take it from candle bodies right here down to our other candle bodies. Make sure we get candle body touches there. And we can take that trend line, put it down here and do the candle bodies, and we also see that, by golly, if we're not just right there on that one too. So we got two trend lines giving us support as well as some other things. I think there's a good chance that we will see a little bit of a come up. Now what we were going to do with our fib areas, I'm going to go from swing high just on this leg. We could take the whole move into effect. Let's see. This would be correct too. And notice our 618s coming up, lining up with that. I'm going to go with this one. I might do them both. This is 0.5 Fibonacci area right here. If we can't get past a 0.5, we're not working on a higher high. We're working on a lower low in most cases. And so what I mean by this is that price needs to work its way up to here over the weekend. And if we can't get past 116,500, if we roll over before then, or even here is kind of sketchy, but definitely if we come up to there and roll over, we might be looking at down. So, but if we can get up above there, maybe even tap that area that we lost at 117.3, 117.2, that might actually give us a chance to make a higher low. So anywhere that we roll over below this 116,500 area is kind of making it a little bit harder for us to get a higher low. We can still hope for it, but it heightens the chances that we'll get a lower low too. So that's the scary situation, but it's not as scary just dropping on down like a lot of the people are assuming that we're going to be doing over this weekend. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a bit of a bearish retest to try to happen over this weekend. And it would be great if it would continue and just try to come on up, and this could be our new little Wyckoff spring, and it could be that situation. The whole Wyckoff thing could be still in order, the Wyckoff being just this being a range, and we're just waiting to get a flush out, and then it comes and they call it jumping the creek, but we end up making higher highs over here, reclaiming 120. that still could be in play. It's not quite invalidated. It's not invalidated just yet. But we would have to get that bounce from here, and we'd expect it to be a pretty good bounce. We were looking at this as being the possible spring, but she's not as springy as what usually a Wyckoff spring. Usually it's a wick down and they come, it's usually a V-shaped recovery. Now this was close to it, but we spent a lot of time here, a lot more than normal, I think, in my personal opinion. Maybe we get something similar over here. We'll just have to see what happens there. But meanwhile, while Bitcoin is falling to the ground, making us wonder why we are in crypto. How's everything else doing? Well, the tariff scare seems to be what's happening, or having a big effect on all this, and the new retaliatory tariffs and all that against all these countries. Looks kind of harsh, but we've seen how this plays out before. It gets everything shooken up, and then everybody starts coming to the table, and they try to iron things out or do something. As long as there's no surprise war attacks and things like that, which there still could be, because we got Mars in, if you're following like WD Gann and the celestial stuff, part of trading, we got Mars that's having some oppositions or situations here that could spring up. I've been wondering if we might have a little surprise black swan event, but I've been looking for that since about the 23rd. That effect should start waning down a little bit, I would think. I have to take a deeper look at that. But I just know that during this time, this is a chance where we could have a little drop down. Actually, I'm actually kind of pleased because we went up higher. I was expecting I was looking at possibly 100, maybe even 94,000 a couple of weeks ago for this time frame, but we got bullish and pumped up, and well, that's cool. Now we don't have to look at that, right? We're sitting here at 115,000, 113,000 or whatever right now, and still better than what I saw a few weeks ago. So I'm not disappointed in it, but getting caught in all the drawdown and all the fear and everything, it's just not very fun. So SPX, Standard & Poor 500, they seem to have broken their trend line today. That was a nice little ride. W pattern. Looked like you got your little 5 waves up. I don't have the Elliott indicator here, but there might be a 5th wave there or something it's working on. So we might be working on a correction, but it can be shaky. That'll be coming up next week and all this and that. Maybe that's something we should pay attention to. We'll just pull our 5th. She made a higher high here, so she needs to take a little break. I would expect a 236, 382 area. It's probably coming down here to retest this area. Anyway, Bitcoin dominance, or the tether dominance right here, right behind my little turkey head. You guys can't see it, can you? If you can see, that one's coming up. She's at a resistance area, so it could roll over. So we're at the weekend. We could see that roll over. That would be good for altcoins. And then Bitcoin dominance, that one just can't seem to make up its mind. It looked like it was getting some rejection here, but we're still above our 9-moving average, so I can't bitch about it. It still looks possibly bullish. It would be great if it would to break this area and start coming, but actually I still see some signs of strength here for Bitcoin dominance, and that's not good for altcoins overall. So what we can hope for is that maybe this weekend we kind of lose a little bit or come down a little bit to help us with altcoins. But if during the weekend and over through next week, we still continue to see Bitcoin dominance go up, you're going to see your altcoin bags continue to suffer until we finally get that rejection. But it could still go up quite a bit over the next week or two. It's kind of sad, but we called it here on our channel right when Bitcoin dominance was working its way down to these areas right here. It was when it was down in these areas, I'm saying, man, altcoins are getting ready to do something. Might be one to think about taking some profits, getting an exit plan, doing something. But nobody wanted to hear it because altcoins were like, oh, what's 40, man? Altcoins are awesome, yeah. And that's just when people don't want to do it, or they take profits. I fall in this category too. It's not enough. Feels like you think it's enough at the time, but then when you get your pullback, I'm always like, that's a recurring theme for me. It's very, very annoying, I find, because I try to get it set up where I don't have to cover these spot margin plays, and I've had to do a little bit of covering. Not bad though. So the plan has been working, but there was still some minor coverage as some risk levels start increasing with these altcoins starting to come down. Total 3 right here. That's when we need to examine for our altcoins for this weekend. Now we can see we got this major trend line down here. If I've got it half-assed drawn, it looks like I got bodies to bodies right there. I want to look at it on a bigger time frame. Oh, maybe you lighten up a little bit. Maybe tighten up my game here. So hopefully now it is also at a 236, just like Bitcoin. Great area to try to bounce from over this weekend. 100 moving average is still way up here at 1.02, and if we can just start bouncing from here and start to reclaim some of these areas, maybe we can start working our way up. Maybe it doesn't go all the way up there, maybe it just rolls over up here, but at least we got, you know, a day or two to see some possibilities of altcoins giving us something back a little bit, right? Hopefully it'll come back up to these higher areas, about 1 trillion, 1.01 trillion. That would be good, right? It's at 961 billion right now, another 40 billion coming into the market over the next few days. That would be cool. That would make us feel a little bit better, but it would also, more importantly for the market makers, entice the retail traders to chase. That's usually the game plan that we see. They're either trying to scare out retail over the weekend and take their money or take their coins, or they're trying to entice the retail. Come and follow me. It's blasting off. You don't want to miss out. Chase it. Look, it's a flag to the upside. It's got a big target. I'm just saying. Look, it's a flag. Look, it's a pennant. We're doing that. That's what they love to do. That's what they love to do to us on these weekends. And I think that's going to happen again, people. From what I can see here, we got a good chance of that happening. Them just playing with us like they love to play with us. And I'm going to come down to the nitty-gritty time frames here. Oh, you don't look as good as I'd hoped. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're still at let's see what happens here. We got some areas to still hope for support. I'm looking for a little bit of roundiness here. Some roundiness happening here. Maybe from this particular leg we got a little bit of something, and maybe it's hopeful thinking, but maybe we got something very similar over here. Are we doing a banana? I hope so. Let's hope that we're trying to do something kind of weird and janky. Like maybe that's a horrible price action if I've ever seen it. Price doesn't even work that way. Maybe we do something like this over the we don't know. The 15-minute, I'm not seeing the signs that I need to see that we're getting ready to catch anything soon. But if I come down to my little tiny 6-minute, maybe it'll make me feel better. Oh, look, we got a green candle. Oh, I feel better already, don't you? Moving averages look horrible. So the fear may go into this evening. I wouldn't doubt that it does, but I think around 8 o'clock tonight, 8 or 9, when Asia starts trading, we might see a little change in tune. At least cross our fingers and hope so. And maybe as the night goes by, later into the wee hours of the night, 3, 4 in the morning, maybe we will see the bulls come in, support these areas, and start driving prices up just to get people to chase. That's what I'm anticipating, and I hope that's true, because the other scenario is to drop. Just give it. Oh gosh, my $50,000 account's worth $975 now. No, I don't want that. That sucks. We don't want that. So a lot of congestion here, lower lows, but it's what we got to watch. There's some curving, there's some consolidation trying to happen on even the 6-minute time frame. Still got a lot to work. It's not looking like it's ready to bounce just yet, but she's at a place, so we watch. Let me come over to the chat and see what you guys are talking about. I think I pretty much went over my basic spiel. To sum it up, well, games weekend, as usual, they pumped us up to a Thursday, dumped us on a Friday. A lot of times when they do that, we might see some sideways and down for, as we go into the weekend. Then somewhere magically around Saturday night, Sunday night, around through there, suddenly everything just changes. Some little bit of news comes out and oh man, and everything's okay again, or so it seems. And you're like, oh man, I sold when at the bottom. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We never want to sell at the bottom, and unless it's that rare situation where, oh crap, we should have paid more attention here and here and here. Now we got no choice when we break a major trend line and lose some major areas. We haven't done that yet. Haven't done it yet. We're actually at a place where we could find some support and see this turn out really good. And if you're looking for a bull flag idea, I don't play bull flags that much, but for the bigger thing on the 4 hour, you actually got one. As long as this trend line here doesn't break, that I know a lot of people don't teach that. They chase those flags outside of the trend line. That's why they don't work out a lot of times. But if you got that rule set in place with the flag, haven't broke a trend line, haven't broke your 382 Fibonacci from your flag pole, then you got a good chance of that flag maybe playing out, and then you got a nice little target, which this is going to sound kind of crazy right now. Well, we want to take the measure move away, or are we just going to fib it? We're looking at going to this 1618 Fibonacci right up here. Oh, I didn't measure it right, did I? Right up here at 1.3 trillion. Take that measure move back, make that work. Put you right there. Do you come down to the bottom? Yes, my lord, you do. From a 1 to a 0 right there. There's a 1-to-1 move right there. AB equals CD pattern idea. Part of the secret sauce here on this channel. And so we got those ideas, and Elliot seems, I think it's an ABC correction, Elliot, but all right, whatever. I ain't gonna, it comes out to be the same thing. Elliot seems to think we're working on a 4 wave going up for a 5, and that would at least bring us back up to retest that $1.08 trillion area. That's what Elliot says. So if all this falls apart, you know who to blame. It's not the turkey, it's Elliot Wave. Elliot Wave people, you better be right on this. We coming after you. I'm just saying. Stop setting us up for failure. You said it's going to bounce. I expect it to bounce there, mister. And then we got all these big ass moving averages, and I think we talked about this. Total 3, 800, 600, 360, 200. Beautiful. So there might be a situation where maybe they push us down and we come to the bottom of the trend line, about 947 trillion, bounce off the 200 moving average. That might be what we look at here. There might be a little bit more down, a little shaky in the altcoins, and that might happen tonight. And then we might see some support and some ideas start changing around. So there might be some good ideas if you're looking to add to your bag over the weekend. If they're down or at a level of support, I would not chase, because that's what they want you to do. They start flipping bullish, and then everybody chases. They run up prices real quick, and then they're going to take it back out of you come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and next week. Let me come over to the chat, see what we got going on over here with everybody. 15 people hanging out with me right now. Thank you so much. This is just an impromptu stream. We've been going for 27 minutes, and I've said everything I need to say. If you guys got anything that you want to talk about or ask or look at, let me know. Crypto manipulation trader. Hi, bro. What's the long entry for SWE? Take a look at SWE. By the way, I guess this is the time when we got to do our little sponsorship. So today's stream is bought by some good ass coffee. If you need good ass coffee, it's pretty easy to find. Restaurants, stores, whatever. Go get your favorite good ass coffee. Tell them looking for sponsorships. Hint, hint. You got a coffee company? Send me some. Good ass coffee. Keeps you up all night trading. So here we are at SWE on the 4 hour, also at the 200 moving average. This could be an entry. It's a little sketchy because you're below a trend line. A little sketchy. She might be coming down to 330. I can see that area as being some local support there. So for SWE, she was on this major trend line, which we are possibly losing now. She did a couple of other trend lines there. I know that's not what you're asking. This is just how we follow it, right? Losing this one, that was a sign. Hey man, something's up. She ended up going to 441 after breaking that $4 area there. Next little run where we're tracking 45-degree angle. This one's starting to come down. Breaking this one was kind of a then you got the bearish retest under it. That was the second chance to exit out of there if you didn't get out at 380 to get out about 396, 395. Testing those moving averages that are crossing bearishly up there. That was a gift right there to get out or take some final profits before the drop here. And then we dropped down how much? 11%. Not too bad. Not too bad. I look at this as being a definitely ABC correction. Elliot, what do you got? Oh snap, and this is why we don't hang out with Elliot, because he's such a bummer. We could bounce here, we could go to 313, we could go to 272, all in this little correction. There's your TA, give me my $99 please. Oh, well, they told you where it was going to bounce, or where it could. So you're just going to leave it up to us just to sit here and wait and watch, and then you're going to change it up on us, Elliot? Anyway, so we might be in an ABC correction. That's possible, and this could be it. ABC bouncing off the 200. That's what we'd hope for. This is where I like to pull out my fibs again, and I'm just going to take a brand new look at this. I'm going to zoom out to the daily here. So we're looking for a possible long. Oh no, I'm not going to erase that. I still got some good targets up here. Still looking at 588, baby. So ultimately, our major trend line here, secondary, bunch of other minor trend lines. So I was looking for 462 at that area. We've still not hit it. I think we still got a good chance to go up there. If we do want to come back to this 360 moving average area, if we start losing everything, this turns out to be some kind of funky M top with a higher high. One of them little bastards. I forgot which bastard it is, but it can bring us back down to some seriously low fib areas, and let's fib those out. That would bring us down to these areas. That would break that trend line too, so we don't want to see that kind of idea happen. Might even be a bigger idea over here. So we need to see something catch right here about 336. That's the first place I'd be looking for, and I'd probably watch for a confirmed bounce there and not just blindly go in. Next place might be 310. Could happen, but I don't want to see that happen. I don't want a 618. To start bouncing off the 618s when we haven't been, doing that. Have you been doing it lately? Looks like you might have. Oh, you got a 7. Okay, well, we could. Okay, it's not out of character to see that 309 area. Might happen, but we got some bullish crosses going over here, giving us some bullish momentum. I'm not sure it would go down that low. I would look at those two areas. I would wait and see what happens about 337, 335, right there in that area. 336 is what the fib's actually saying for me. Let's come down to the 4-hour time frame and see what we got. So could that happen here? And here we are, 800 moving average. Yeah, that can definitely happen. If they do get bearish tonight or whatever, I'm not. I think the 0.5 can hold. That would be all right to wick, and then it can recover the trend line. Coming down here, you've screwed up this trend line basically, and that could lead to even these lower areas. I really don't want to see that happen. I think we got the bullish momentum we need to. So when it gets here, I would set an alert or something there for the possibility. But what I'd really like for it to see, reiterate that again, is to come back up here. Now, if we start reclaiming this area about 360, you might want to add to your bag there if we see a nice bounce from there. But this is where we're going to have to wait for confirmation and not just blindly enter, but actually wait for it to do something, in my personal opinion. So sweet, like all the other ones, having a little bit of a hard time, but 353, and you were where? You were up to where? $4 and 440. Wow. So imagine if it does get down there 337, then we can get back up to right $4 area. That's 17% gains. Get back up to the high that we were at before, 31% gains, and that's just on spot. $100 bag goes up to $135. Not bad, not bad. Kelly says, you think this is a Bart Simpson? I mean, it could turn into the Bart Simpson idea. I'm not really looking. Oh, well, I mean, if it happens, it happens, but it doesn't have to happen. That doesn't have to be our only option here. But it could. I mean, it would make a pretty one. It would make a nice little Bart Simpson. I like his little Elvis twig right there. But you can definitely make an argument for that. You can also go back to where we were before with the old trend line from when we dropped down to 98, broke out of it. We never did come back to retest the entry, so, and that's also down at 9. So you can see that. I mean, if we lose these areas, but it might come back up to do something before doing that too. So we got that situation. But right now, the strongest thing that I'm seeing is that we still got a strong channel. We've still got a strong channel and some strong fib areas that can give us a pivot point to where we can at least get a little come up. What happens after that come up around this area, I don't know, and that could lead us down to the big old Bart. I'm just not sold on the idea that it's happening right now. That's what I'm saying. That big money knows how to take your money, and they know if they can get you chasing, they can take some more money of it, more of your money. And I bet they reclaim that 200 moving average. That would be a nice enticement, although it might stick if they reclaim it. I would hope that it would. When I start seeing on the 4 hour some of these moving averages, like the 9, especially the 21, cross over that yellow 200 moving average, when we get the bearish crosses like that, well, that more solidifies it. Until we get that, we got some hope. We got some hope. And we are on the trick. Oh, look at you, 24-minute Bitcoin. What are you doing? You doing something right now? Look at you finding some support. Yeah! Oh, yeah, I'm going to be a fool. Who took the trade with me? Who took that? Oh, we didn't do one. Well, I feel stupid. We should have done the trade. I would have called it. We know. That's great, man. So we're respecting the areas that we need to respect. This was the chart I was actually my most updated chart. 272, baby. It's the 272 Fibonacci's. That's your best friend, dog. Respect them 272s, even if you don't understand how they work. You need to pay attention to the 272s. I'm just saying, it will change your life. Change my life. I figured that one out. I just had to search for a year and a half to figure out why is it working that way. I finally got that answer. It's mathematical. It's mathematical. What is the square root of the golden ratio? 1.272. Just saying. If you got some 618s in there, you got some 272 vibes happening. And so what we got right here is a little trend line that we should be going up to a retest. So I'm looking for us to head up now to this area. About 115.6. Nice move, baby. Nice move. Love you, honey. Love you. Also had some little bullish divergence happening here on these 15-minute smaller time frames. That's been forming for a little while. Been trying to get some moves out of it. A lot of your morning traders are getting kind of frustrated with that. Bullish divergence, but nothing happened. Bullish divergence, nothing happened. When you get a strong move down, sometimes it takes more than just one, right? If you're trying to trade bullish divergence and you're looking just one instance, especially on the trend, yeah, well, the experience after doing that for a while will teach you, unless you just get bored with it and say, I don't trust bullish divergence. No. I see people get pissed at some of these concepts and say that they don't work or something. It's not that they don't work, just maybe you're just not applying it right, or maybe you're just not, finessed how to apply it. There's little things in there. I wouldn't say it doesn't work at all. It's a great indicator of something to pay attention to when you see bearish divergence. Some people were talking about the bearish divergence on Bitcoin on this daily, but when I saw them talking about it, they were going way back though. And I use RSI for divergence. MACD, you can use that, but it's not as trustworthy. Sometimes if you compare it and back test, you can see some differences. We've had some. Look, this is RSI on the weekly, right? I'm gonna draw some lines here. I don't know what this line is. Take that line off. I want to get these peaks right here. We're going to come and look at the tops. So you got some bearish divergence and on the weekly. And this was the first instance. And then started doing a little sideways, a little downs. We went to 88, range between 88 and 110 with that bearish divergence. So we finally hit 74. Finally, it took it several weeks to finally get us down, okay? We just now got that. We could get some sideways. We could get some ranging here before we even get any down that might take us back to 102,000. And I'm not saying that the 102,000 can't happen. It definitely can. But right now, we still got, here, what are we on the weekly? We still got a nice weekly ass, look, trend line. We haven't even broken that weekly trend line. It breaks about 110. So there's an argument we might come down and touch it. My argument here on the weekly is we're above the 9 moving average, and we are well above the 5 moving average here on the weekly. To me, that's bullish, and got a nice little candle. We're at 116,000. No, we're not. Where the hell am I at? Why are you telling me that? On the weekly? That was crazy. Why are you telling me 114? I got 113 over here. Am I getting different? That's crazy. What exchanges? Oh, this is the index. Maybe that's why. I'm getting different prices on different time frames here. That kind of threw me off my game. I'm doing it over here too. Are they all doing that? How weird. That I don't like that. I'm not. If I'm looking over here on the weekly, my price is it's 116.5. If I come down to the daily, it tells me the current price is 114.27. If I come to the 1 hour, it tells me it's 113.925. If I come down to the 5 minute, I'm at 113.890. What the hell? Now this one's holding up right. This one's doing better. That's weird. I don't like that. Are you doing it here too? Here we are, 113. Maybe I had a line in the way. Was that it? Was I looking at the wrong thing? Because that doesn't make any sense. No, you got it right here. That's weird. That's crazy talk. I'm not going to have it. What price are you over here? This is on TradingView. That's a big deal. That means depending on whatever time frame that on. So imagine if you're here on the 4 hour, and I saw this happen to somebody today. And what if it gives you a different time? I mean, the weekly gave me 116. What the 4 hour gave me 116, and I took an entry without coming to a smaller time frame just to kind of nail it. And then you wonder why. That's one thing too. The dude I saw today made a call. He said a scalp trade. Now, you don't scalp trade on the 4 hour. You just don't do it, okay? But a scalp trade, which did not work out well, got liquidated, definitely. I wonder how they're going to address that tomorrow, if you guys know who I'm talking about. If not, I'm not going to mention any names, but they don't have a tendency to be as transparent as they say that they are about things. But wow, 113.09, 113.932 here. I like what I'm seeing on the 15 minute here. I like what I'm seeing there. Let me come over to the smaller time frame, or to the chat here. Haven Picks says 14,000 jobs in June. America that we knew as toast. A lot of Uber jobs, I guess. It's crazy how they manipulate all that stuff. Hey dog, did you hear about the new crypto related IPO that shot up like Circle, ticker FIG? Last night we were looking at it, and when you guys were talking about it, that's the first I've heard of it. I made a note and I never went back over it. Let's take a look. How's it doing today? Because if everything's pulling back, there might be something there today, right? So it's stocks, it's Figma, and I think you can find it over on Robinhood. It went up to $142, so it is getting a pullback. Oh, now we got some stuff we can work with. Oh, snap. So I put out these targets last night. You went up and when did you hit it? Because that's my 3618. Wow, you're strong as F. You went a lot better than I thought. So, gosh darn it. And I bought Circle today when I should have been buying some figs. Trend line broke. Now we got a little bit more. Oh, 0.5. This is the 15 minute time frame. Now there might be a chance it comes down to 106, but it looks like a 0.5. 0.5s can be kind of interesting. They can get us up here to the 1.5, 1 to 1. I think it's going to be easier if I do it this way. All right, 168. $168 right there. And there's our 2. Actual measure move takes us right to that white line there. Trying to finesse this little guy. So I got some target areas about 168 through 175 right through there. It's 119 right now. Kind of makes me want to go over to Robinhood for a minute. I'm just saying. And I might take a little entry on this one. I'm doing it right now, or I'll forget. Big Ma. Let me add that to my watch list there. All right. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than I meant to. My apologies, but. Oh, come on. Why'd you guys make this so much harder? All right. Well, you're not playing with me very nicely here. There we go. I only got a little nibble there. So nice. Is at 119 right now, get up to 168. That's a pretty good risk to reward ratio right there. That's 39% gains on that. Setting up a trade idea for this little guy. That's the wrong one. Up to there with the stop loss below our low there, 8%. It's giving you a 4, almost a 5 to 1 risk reward ratio. Just get up to 168, and I'm not saying it's going to be a ride in the park. There's going to be some areas that she's going to definitely have to work with. 130 up to 140, right here in this range, halfway through there. And from where we are to those areas, what does that look like? What's the percentage? About 15%. $100 turns into $115 at 139. That kind of thing. You can do that. You can buy partial shares on Robinhood. That's kind of cool. You have to do it market though. You can't limit order it, but you got that. Now we got a possible trend line right here. Seems to be respecting the angles, kind of, sort of. There anyway. Now back into it. So take that idea and draw a little half-ass dotted trend line. Let's put this 1272 area on there. I'm not sure how much traction we'll get with that one, but we'll throw it in there to see. We've got a 0.5 retracement. It may not, it may be going up just a little bit higher from that one. So I'll be looking at 151 and 168. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Dylan VA, Haven Pet, Chris Klein, how's it going, everybody? Glad to have you here. Floki's Angels, love your show. I love that comment. Thank you so much. Kelly says, I heard the macro traders will probably buy at 112 as it turns previous all-time high to support. I think confirming the breakout up on the macro. I'm just repeating stuff. That's all good, Kelly. Thank you for mentioning it, because I wouldn't have entered it if you hadn't mentioned it. Hey, there's a super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Kelly says, thanks for the calming atmosphere. Is it kind of crazy out there?
All right. Yes.
Were they getting kind of, I mean, there's a time when we need to be bearish and everything, but there's also some support there that we're at some air support. Not everybody sees it. Just depending on what strategies that they're using, and some people are going to miss it. And, you know, if they're just pinching tips and drawing flags, putting everything in the flag, they're not going to see these ideas. You know, they might have some kind of flagpole both ways and get something. But we are at a possible area of support. This is the weekend. Let's see what we got. It would be a bad time to sell at support until we get confirmation that, yeah, the market just dropped the bottom out of us, whatever, black swan event coming, whatever. I think it's still a little too early. That's just my take. I'm exiting my risky DeFi and putting all in Wrap Bitcoin and Wrap Crow pool. There you go. So Wrap Bitcoin against Wrap Crow. I hope that doesn't get too much impermanent loss though. Let's see what Crow looked like against BTC. I guess we need to go to crypto. Chronos against Bitcoin. KuCoin's got it. That pair, trading pair over there. Let's go to the weekly and see how she's looking. Oh, okay, cool. Stochastics are kind of topped out, but I mean they can stay that way for a little while, right? So looks like we're 3 weeks in after getting our little buy signal, so we got a lot of the move going on. She hasn't made higher highs, but she looks like she's trying to. That actually looks kind of interesting. So doing it here at the bottom, that's much better than trying to do it over there. So hopefully as that works out, hopefully as Crow gains against Bitcoin, that you're actually accumulating more in Bitcoin on that. Hopefully that's what we'd be shooting for here. Otherwise, if it's the other way, then you know your Bitcoin drains out and your Crow bag grows, and if Bitcoin is outperforming stuff, then that's not great. But this might be that's an interesting place. I would be interested in doing it around these areas too, but it looks like like it might come up there. What could you do if you get back up to these areas? Oh snap, that's 247% gains, my man. All right, so you're in a falling wedge kind of idea, falling channel, and they have a tendency to break up when they break out, right? Keep me updated on how that performs for you, Haven. I'm just kind of curious to track that. But that looks like it's worth looks like a decent play, I think. Because I'm looking for a Crow against Bitcoin to get up to first area that I'd be looking for. What is this? 0.0. The 44 area. I can't get to you on there, can I? The 45 area, 4,500 Satoshis. And where are you at right now? You're at 1,200 Satoshis right now. Man, that's a good 3, almost 4x up there. Nice. Nice. What do you look like on the daily? Daily might be getting a little pullback. So if you do that, if you haven't done it already, you might kind of layer into it a little bit, like a DCA thing, as it kind of, if we pull back this weekend. Just saying, she's at a point of rejection here against the Bitcoin pair, so that would be something I would just throw out there, maybe to consider or think about. Might be coming back to 1021 and drop 100 Satoshis there, and that can make a difference. Once we turn around and go the other way, you get that money a lot quicker, kind of layered in that way. I think just some ideas. I just talk. You guys don't have to agree with me or do anything that I suggest or say or anything. I just share ideas, and if it works with you, if it resonates with you, cool. If it doesn't, then hey, no harm, no foul. A couple of hours ago, I sold a lot of Ethereum to de-risk, but that was like too much of my holdings. 420 ETH. Hey. Kelly says, I already wrote alts. Oh man, I lost my chat again. Already wrote alts to the ground. I already wrote alts to the ground once this year. I wish I could say I just done it once. But the strategy that I'm using with the spot margin and all those positions I've got there, there's a lot to manage there. That's one thing. I'm not going to do this next time, but it makes it harder. It makes it harder to manage all of those. So naturally, kind of have to ride a little bit more of the roller coaster than I want to on that. And I'm looking at my portfolio today, and I'm like, gosh darn it, why? I keep telling myself I'm gonna sell half of these bags when we get up to those areas, but for some reason I'm always just layering out, and it doesn't seem like a layer out as much as I want to when we get the dips to where I want to have that money to buy. Jorge Satoshi says my Avo and Uranus bags are getting hit hard at the moment. Uranus, I've been seeing that one mentioned a lot lately. Where did I see that? Was it Tokenmetrics, I think? Was that where I saw it? No, this is not. Hey, this is the liquidity map. I guess we can look at that for Bitcoin. Let me see if we can update it over the past 12 hours. So there's still a lot. There's still a lot hanging up here. Sure, there's a little bit more down here at 112. But there's a lot more hanging at 115 in these areas and 116 in those areas. And then still some over here at 120. It looks, if I would think that we would be headed up here over the weekend, take out this liquidity rather than push it down. I don't know how market makers think, well, other than they just want to surprise the hell out of everybody and scare everybody, but it looks like they're already trying. My take is they're going to try to entice us to chase this weekend. Look, that's the bottom. That's it. It was a fake out on a Friday. Yeah, it's all right. Let's just start buying this weekend. And it works, so why not? Come back to Bitcoin here. How you doing, Bitcoin? Here on the tiny 6 minute. Still got a little green dot there. How are you going to try to get up a little bit more, Bitcoin? So for Bitcoin, I need to see her get past 114.6. Let's get past that 0.5. And we've already cleared our 236. That's the first sign. It's made a flag right up above it. It's a good chance that we head up to here. 14.6. And then at that point, if we roll over, I'm going to get kind of skittish because the chances of making a higher low start getting a little slim here. It can happen, but it kind of looks like more like 112 being just as good of a possibility. But if we can get above it, right up here to 115, 114.9, then we got a good chance of finding a higher low. A lot better. Not perfect, but a lot higher chance. And then this little rounding. Oh man, what was that? What did you do? There's the code. But this slight rounding that we're starting to see in this area, hopefully that will flush out over the next few hours here. I like what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. I think we got a good chance. We've already pointed out the pivot areas and everything. Haven Peck says, banker, please. Road Dog TA. Not only am I trading it, I'm using it to have it trade portions of my banker account if I make sure I have enough base, either for the transactions, either for the Ether. I'm not sure what that one is, but we'll take a look at it. I think I got it right. I guess we'll go with USDC. Zoom out on this one. This is obviously a new coin. Haven, you always get in on these new ones. Are you a part of a group or something that goes over like new coins or something, or you just find them on your own? You find them on X, or how are you staying in tune with all these new things? I guess there's some groups out there that do all that. Let's see what we got. I'm on the 4 hour. We're at the 618. It's trying to catch there. I hope it does. If it doesn't, then we're looking these areas down here. And hard to tell at the moment which one it might be if it does do that. So we got our 618, and then I'll put these two local targets up there. So I mean, this is risky because this is kind of early. All we got is just one high and maybe a higher low. It's a good place for it to catch here. It's tried to several 4 hour candles there. Let's come down to a smaller time frame. The 1 minute. It's like she's trying to. Got the bullish divergence or anything? Not really, but the MACD on the 1 hour is trying to flip, giving us signs that she's getting ready to try to do something. So I would look for it to try to come up, and it looks like it will hit its head up here about 11.3. So probably about an 886, 786 retracement here. So another little local target for us. All right, so from where we are now, that's 26% gain. So our first target at 0.00109 area. And then you got 0.00133 area, and that's 55% gains. What's the deal with this one? Banker coin. Oh my gosh, total supply is what? Maximum supply is 100 billion? Really? It's got a market cap of 82. You're already 82 million market cap? I mean, that's still small, but wow. Okay. And it's very new. So there's a lot of hype behind it, it seems like. I don't like how many tokens they have though, but that seems to be the norm these days. Banker bot. Did you tell me what you were doing? What you were? Banker is an advanced AI agent focused on simplifying the process of buying and selling digital assets. Banker was the first AI agent on Farcaster to help you quickly buy all your favorite coins directly in the social. Banker is the official coin of the agent and was deployed by Banker itself directly in the Farcaster social feed. Okay, so we are starting to see this new trend that's coming in. I think that's what this one's doing. Let's go to the website. But social media and things like that, even the Telegram app, if you haven't noticed, has a new wallet. And I'm starting to see things where they're starting to tie in and X will be doing that soon. They'll be trading. You will be able to trade crypto on X. I don't know if you realize that, but they're setting all that up, and maybe even tokenized stocks on the X platform. A lot of the social media platforms are starting to turn to crypto and tokenized stocks when it rolls out. But that seems to be the thing, going to make it easier for people just to trade and even tip people like Telegram and all that with the wallets, and have the bots that will do the stuff, the trading for you. So Coinbase wallet or whatever they got going on, I think they switched things up, but it looks like this is one of the versions over there. That's kind of interesting. What can I do for you? What can Banker do? Is the easiest way to trade crypto and more. Banker's advanced AI helps you swap, research, and more. That's interesting. And on Telegram, coming soon to Telegram. Oh, looky there. See, they're branching out. They're doing a Coinbase wallet. Huh. Trade on XMTP. What's that? Chat with Banker on XMTP, decentralized messaging protocol. There we go. There's the tie-in. Okay. Well, it's early to get in. There's a lot of coins. There might be some give and take. There might be some drawdown, after it might go up, but at some point there's going to be some drawdown while they try to level it out a little bit, I think. But looks cool. That's an interesting one to look at them. I'm glad you mentioned that. Chemical Black, haha, buy BTC on the daily and sell it on the weekly. Oh, for the difference in price. That freaked me out. I wasn't ready for that. Will do, Road Dog. I have Rat Bitcoin and Crow, BBS Finance, and I get a bonus for staking BBS and Miner Mo with. I used VVS when they first came out last cycle, and it was so new and nobody was using it, and then it just kind of dwindled away from me. I haven't played it. I wonder how it's doing now. I mean, Crow or Kronos Crypto.com, I think they got a bright future. They're playing pretty smart. I don't like how they do the bait and switch on their card stuff. See, maybe they've chilled out on that, hopefully. Now they got a credit card, as well as in addition to their debit card. Seems to ship a lot faster than the debit card. Got here in a few days. Uranus on Solana. That's where I saw it, Solana. All right, so MEXC has it. It's been out for almost a month now and got up to 76. Got about a 25% pullback. Should probably be at our 236 bib area. No, you lost it. Yeah. Well, that's for me doing math in my head. Wait. I like to look for those, but this 0.5 has got our 9 moving average at it. I think we'll pay attention to that one. That would be a nice place to catch some. If we can go down to, what is that, 41 cents? We're at 52 right now. 49 is an area that just wicked through. Let's come to a smaller time frame. Okay, so a possible M top going on over here, M double top. The wicks are the same up there. The candle bodies are different. Got some bearish divergence on the candle bodies there. This would probably be the neckline area that would confirm this. So here's what could be happening. If it loses that, you're confirming it looks like it could come down.
Whispers of cold in the midnight shade, a world of gold where the rules are made. No need for
Oh, I think that was the right fib I needed. Actually, after this one does that, I would look at these areas, 22 and 15 cents. I know it sounds kind of, it's far away from right now, but for what it's doing with that M top, got a good chance to actually 886 this, and that's right around 16 cents. So she might have some. Well, before I get too crazy, it doesn't have to be straight down. 50 moving average on the 4 hours coming up here. The green cloud's throwing everything off. It's not good to find yourself going down in a green cloud because a lot of times they can spit you on the other side. The scenario would be if we can come up here for maybe a bearish retest that might do something like that. And then a lot of people, look, shoulder, head and shoulder. But there might be a chance that it does a little bit of a rebound over this weekend. That would be cool. That would give a chance to take some profits over here, about 55 cents, somewhere through there. But there, I see a good chance that over the next few weeks, you might be looking at testing 23 and maybe as far down as 16 cents. I don't think it's happening now, but I would watch this for a possible, come up and then roll over to these areas. What else have you got to tell me? Oh, that's cool. Let's see if we can get. This is not the greatest trend line for support, but it might hold. Let's come down to 1 hour. You getting anything over here? Are you getting something over here? Wow, look at you. 200 moving average over here. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that idea that you might be bouncing short term. 46. I don't think you'll get past that 50 moving average. So somewhere between 53 and 56 cents, and actually. After seeing this, I would just pull my fibs and do what we do. So we know we need to get up here. We know that, oh, this area is the one to really watch. Does that jive with anything else we got here? I'm still looking at here. I'm still looking about 53 cents. Let's see what happens up through here. These are some ideas that can come up and hit some resistance there. But right now it looks like it's got a good chance to actually start going up from 47 to those areas. And what would that be? 14, 16%? 20, maybe up to 20% there? All right, there's something there. A little risky for a long, but so my only concern is if it actually it has not confirmed an M top yet, but when it drops below this area here at 40 cents, when it drops below 40 cents, that top will be confirmed, and then that's where we might be seeing 23 or 15. Until then, I mean, for all we know, she could be trying to go for a higher high. I doubt it, but it could. No group, I work my ass off. There you go. Well, let's give you a round of applause because it obviously pays off. You get into some interesting things. I'm still in Nyla. I saw that one.
All right.
It's been shaky up and down. That and Yuki, I see possibility that for it. I saw some opportunity. I thought, well, for a longer term hold, I think this one can do it. And it's got to be a longer term hold for me. But I wouldn't be doing that if you hadn't mentioned it. So you guys mentioning things is where a lot of this alpha comes from. I'm just saying, I just draw lines on stuff. You guys share a lot of information with me, and I really appreciate it. And that's why when I find something, I try to share it, or notice something, anything hot, whether I'm in it or not, at least talk about it. You live in Missouri, but visiting Philly was the craziest streets I've ever seen. Answer me, how's it going? Best cheesesteak I had on my trip was actually from New Jersey. Haven says, yeah, I like New Jersey, but for your term pack. That's insane. Baba Yaz, what's up? Road Dog, I have more an investment mindset on these downturns. What are your indicators for determining bottoms for individual coins? Do you compare against Bitcoin or use other comparisons? I'm usually looking at them in the dollar because that's what most of us think about. However, if you are looking at them in the Bitcoin pair, I would consider you a level up because that's a smarter play. That is the smarter play. I don't do it so much because of habit anymore, but that's the OG way. Everything was against Bitcoin back in the day, and that's how you would really gauge it. And if you really want to see some moving up on the dollar pair too, I mean, it works for that too, right? Because if it's going up in Bitcoin, it's also, or if it's winning against Bitcoin, it's more likely also winning pretty good against them dollars. So that's a great way to chart your coin against Bitcoin, whatever token it is. Definitely. I don't do it because it tunes a lot of people out on the live. So I'll do it if somebody asks. I like doing it. And I can't remember to do it on everything. And then most people are like, it doesn't make sense to them. Like if I start charting, Litecoin against it. Let's chart Litecoin against Bitcoin. And then we got it at this point 0. And sometimes you don't even have numbers to work with over here. It's how low it gets. I think I can set that. But, people like, it doesn't resonate with people because there's no dollar signs. The unit of account just doesn't jive. But that's the smart way, and that's the OG way. Yeah. It will be to your advantage to do that. Haven says, I really appreciate your Road Dog, not just your technical analysis, but your spirit. You make me a better person. Aw, thank you, man. Chemical Black says, Ria on Near launched 2 days ago. Near's got coins now? I haven't kept up with that. Cool. Ria Finance. Let's see. Looks like Gate.io's got you. Binance Chain's got it. Mexi's got it. Let's check it on Mexi. Very new. Oh, that's us. Let's see. Do they all have that scam wick? Yeah, it looks like. Okay. Well, this is it on Gate.io at the same chart. So it's 6 cents after spiking up on a scam wick to 35 cents. Wow. Oh my gosh. When you get into some of these new coins like this, maybe you should set some just crazy ass limit orders and just hope for, not a bad, I mean, if you're on an exchange and got it, or maybe even on Jupiter or something like that, you can set limit orders on those dexes and things like that. Oh, this isn't on Jupiter, but it is on Gate.io and Mixc, so you can set limit orders. I mean, imagine that though, because that thing went up 6x in 1 hour, if that scam wick's to be believed. And if you just had limit orders up there, man, what a come up. Put $100 in and sell it off, and you could come out with $200 to $500 and then try to do it all over again. That's kind of cool. I like that, actually. So Sketchy price action now. I don't know what the tokenomics are. I would say you're at 6 cents. I hope it's halfway decent. I hope it's not into the tens of millions. Is it bad that there we go. $12 million market cap. Ooh, that's kind of juicy. 1 billion maximum supply. That's not bad at all. At one time, I would be bitching about it last cycle, but then that became the norm. Chainlink has 1 billion. I'm just saying, Chainlink's like at $17, or it was $17, probably 14, probably 15 or 16 right now. This is at 6 cents. Not saying it's going to be Chainlink, but Chainlink was also at $5, and man, if this will get to $5 or even $1, that's a pretty good come up on this. 1 billion. Let's go check out the website here. Refinance, chain abstracted liquidity solution lending. Built on Near. That's cool. So love to see these coins actually come out with building their ecosystem, and that just helps everything out. So early investor, it was 3 cents. Now it's doubled up to 6, and we've seen that what gets wicked often gets candlestick. And now one way to look at this, when you see a chart that has something like this, a lot of times those little wicks, they can make a good target to shoot for. It might take a long time to get there, but what gets wicked often gets candlestick is the rule of the game. And even if it only made it halfway up there, which is the Dow Jones theory, right? The Dow theory. A big impulse move like that, come up to halfway. Oh, the vector candle, ladies and gentlemen, the vector candle. Same concept. So 22 cents, definitely doable. I just like to take my little Fibonacci's, pull it from high to low right there, and look at 12.2 cents being the first target I want to be looking at. After that, 0.20 cents right there, and maybe up to 24 cents. I learned that from Bubba. Bubba taught me good how to use the fibs. Got all kinds of fibs. Got colored fibs, got number fibs. 95% up to that first fib. Pretty good, I like it. That's interesting. Thoughts on Avo on Sol? Tiny market cap 3 million. I have no thoughts. Let's go see what it says. Weeks has got it. Okay, cool. Zoom out. So not a new coin. It's been here for, oh, she pumped up. She's hanging around. What is that? I can't even count that low. Is that a quarter of a penny? Or no, it's less than that. Half of a penny? Half of a, that would be a quarter of a penny, would it not? I think you can get 4 of these for a penny. Or you could back down here. Now you get 3 for a penny, right? Or almost 3. 0.5. Chance it could bounce here. It's a chance. Ugh. So this gets tricky, and it's like, where will we bounce? And it's several ways to look at this. If you're nibbling, man, you can put a limit order at every fib, kind of pyramid your orders in, accumulate a bag through here as it comes down. It may not come down here. It could. 21 moving average is at 0.0018. 0.0029 or 0.003 is our 618. And if we go any further down, that would probably be a good place to bounce. That could give us a nice little run up. Bouncing here. 200% gains to one target, 227 to the second if we bounce there. Could bounce right where we're at the 9 moving average. So that's okay. So we make up we see what the daily is saying, giving us levels, and then we come down to a smaller time frame. See how price is reacting to those said levels. So now we did that on the daily. Ain't got nothing here on the 4 hour. She's trying to hold so far, but that could be give and take. Got this green cloud that could come into play unless we ricochet off of it. That's kind of like a Hail Mary call. Basically, we can draw our trend lines, and we lost that little sucker. We took the measure move, and if it does play out, it doesn't have to play out. That could bring us down to some lower areas. Oh, snap! Can you not draw a line? That gets us back down to these areas we're talking about. 0.001 out, possibly. Another more conservative measure move from here to down. Gets us down probably about where we are, a little lower, more toward the 618. So I got a couple of ideas. She broke her trend line, so she need to recover. 5 waves, ABC correction. That could be ABC. So I'm not ruling out the 0.5 just yet. But I don't see it. I don't see it really holding like we need to. It's come down to a 1 hour. It's trying. All right, so it's not reclaimed it yet. Let's watch this. It might bounce here. This might find support. If it does not, the next area that I'll be looking for is 0.003, basically. That looks good. That looks good. What do your indicators look like? Let's go back to the 4 hour. How are you looking on the indicator over here? This is concerning money flow and the green starting to come down almost red. That could be what it takes to get us down here if that happens. I'm not sold that the 0.5 will hold. It could, but if it does hold, it could also come up and then come back down, and we could still be testing these areas. So it's a little shaky, but it is a little discount. This is perfect to DCA into it though, or just put limit orders at each of those fibs and build a little bag, right? You do 25% at each one, or however you want to structure it, or 10, 20, 30, 40% down here, and that'll take up your whole 100% when you add all those together. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, that's your 100%, and by the time it gets down there, that would be a cool way to try to do it. Interesting. I like it. Chemical black. All right, guys, we've been going for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I was supposed to just do like a little update, and again, let's come back over and take a look at Bitcoin. So far, so good. Still holding those little pivot reversal points that we came on here to talk about. The 272, the 382 Fibonacci has been reclaimed. Trend lines have been reclaimed. Trend lines have been reclaimed. Could be a possible bear trap setting up right here. That would be cool with this breaking back into these areas and driving us up here toward 115.5, 115.6 is what I'm hoping for. Got some resistance coming in at 115, so we got some stuff to work through, but it's looking kind of nice here. That maybe this weekend, maybe they'll try to entice us to start chasing some of these altcoins, meaning altcoins might do a little bit better. Let's hope so. Total 3, however, on this very small time frame, still struggling. Too early to make a call on this one. Come down to these, oh man. Why does it look like you might be able to go down a little bit more before you come up? I hope not. And here on the 4 hour, 200 moving average is down there. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Man, I hate to see that. So, what, we got 3 more hours until Asia comes on? Hopefully in the next 4 or 5 hours, we can see it, figure out where it's going to catch some support, or maybe try to recover. I would like to see this red line here be recovered. That is the Lucy line. That is the 666 moving average. If we're on a drop, that little devil girl moving average usually has something to do with it somewhere. And when I see price interacting with it, I pay attention to that time frame. Here on the 2 hours, the 360 giving us some support. That's cool. Bears crosses here. I'm seeing a hope. Same thing I said earlier. Same thing. A hope will come up, but man, I don't know if we're going to get past this area. But it could give us a little relief here over between tonight and tomorrow in case we need to like de-risk on some altcoins. That would be an opportunity that could be presenting itself. If we come back up to this area that we just lost, M top, member, M shape. If you can look at it, we lost that. There could be a measure move. I'm just saying. I mean, a lot of people will be looking at this too. It's just not, well, technically it has confirmed, but there can be a bearish retest. So that's the, and that would suck for all coins. So keeping our eyes open for those possibilities, but also being a little hopeful for the bullish things, such as all these moving averages, the bigger ones. I mean, they're good. Hopefully we can range through here. Guys, thanks for hanging out. 12 people still here. I'll be here tonight about I'm going for 10:30 tonight. I did that last night too. So tonight, be doing a lot of altcoin looking, seeing how the market's reacting, and just get a feel for the market. Hope to see you guys back here then. Trade carefully, manage your positions. As they try to do the whoop-de-woo on us this weekend. Nothing different. What they do all the time. I want to see them make us chase though, because when they're chasing, I'm selling. Yeah. Do what they're doing. Good night, everybody. See you tonight. To the end screen.
You've been mining in the shadows, chasing digital gold. Hodling every coin you claim, your secrets untold. Whispers on the chain ignite, you're pulling me slow. Crypto's in your eyes tonight, I'm caught in the glow. Wallets locked, your keys are T's, a game I can't unwind. That FOMO's creeping through my veins, you're messing with my mind. I'm not your trader, not your pawn, I see through the haze. You're dancing in my dreams, babe, with your blockchain ways. You just want my transaction, yeah. You just want my stacks to send,
A little weakness here, but we're still above the 9.
I'm slipping deeper in your hands. You just want transaction. You just want transaction, baby. Not my keys, not my crypto lately. Pulling me with moves so shady. You just want transaction. You just want transaction, baby. Charts are spinning, I'm persuaded. Lost in code, intoxicated. NFTs light up the dark, your apes are on display. Gas fees pull me under, but
Bitcoin dominance working its way up here on smaller time frames.
Babe, we're going to the moon, your voice cuts through the night. Exit scams are calling soft, I'm trapped in your sight.
People are still selling small coins, capitulating a little bit.
I'm not your mark, not your prey, but I'm falling too fast. Crypto's got me locked in deep. This high's gonna last.
$114,000. Better than 113, right?
Yeah, you just want my stacks to send. Playing games with central plans. I'm slipping deeper in your hands. You just want transaction. You just want transaction, baby. Not my keys, not my crypto lately. Pulling me with moves so shady.
Good night, everybody. See ya tonight.